What's going on, boys and girls? Oh, it's a big one tonight. It is a big one. Super Sunday. Chelsea versus Arsenal. First against second. Champions of the world versus arguably the greatest team in the world right now. What a game this is going to be. And what an opportunity for Arsenal to make a huge statement in this Premier League. I cannot tell you how important this match is. I am so nervous, but I'm also so excited by this game. Where do I even start? I mean, look, I will go as far to say that if we beat Chelsea tonight, we've got one hand on that Premier League. And that comes from my confidence in this team, the way we're playing right now, the mentality that we're showing, the hunger, the attitude, all of those things. But I think another big reason for why I'm so confident with this, if we go on to win this match, is that I just think our so-called title challengers are not up to par this season. Liverpool are in full-blown crisis mode, and I think they're already well and truly out of it. Manchester City just needed a last-minute winner against Leeds at home where they conceded 2 goals. And I don't think they have a good enough defence to win the Premier League. And I just think they are a few players short of being genuine title contenders this season. And then Chelsea, who are trying to kind of stay pace with us at the moment. Again, they've got the squad. You've got to have the squad if you spend £2 billion, right? But I just don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready for the Premier League yet. I don't think they've got enough about them in terms of maturity, experience, quality, consistency to really be there at the end when it matters. And so I just think if we can go to Stamford Bridge tonight and get a win and kind of stretch our lead to 9 points, I just don't see how we let that slip. And look, I know that's crazy. I know we're in November still, so for me to be talking like this is wild, but that's just where I am at right now, and I'm not going to shy away from it. I said in my last video that if we beat Chelsea, I'm going to come out and say we're going to win the Premier League, and I do believe that. Now, that doesn't mean that I think this is going to be a straightforward match. I think this is probably going to be our most difficult game of the season so far. I think Chelsea are going to be coming into this game full of confidence, particularly after beating Barcelona 3-0 midweek. No matter what the context of that game in terms of injuries, 10 men, you name it. If you beat Barcelona 3-0, that's an impressive result. And so Chelsea are going to be amped up to put in a performance tonight. This is their opportunity to show people that they are title contenders. It's an opportunity to shut people like me up. But it's an opportunity to beat Arsenal and to knock Arsenal back a few steps. So they will be massively hyped up for this game. So will their fans. This is an evening Super Sunday kickoff, and it's gonna be hard. This is going to be a really hard test for Arsenal. And what I want to see from Arsenal in this game, and look, I've been seeing it from Arsenal all season, so it's not like I'm expecting something that I haven't seen already. But if I'm an Arsenal player tonight, this is an opportunity for us to really go in and just prove that we are exactly who we think we are and who we know we are, which is champions elect. I think this game is going to come down to which team wants it more. Which team wants to win more than the other. I think that's what this is going to come down to. And I just hope that at the end of the 90 minutes, Arsenal are the one who come out on top. This is going to be a really high-paced match. I think Chelsea are going to go for us. And I think it's about whether Arsenal can pick Chelsea off and stay defensively resolute. I think there's going to be some key battles in this match. I think Saka up against Cucurella is going to be a really good matchup. As much as I don't like Cucurella, he is a very good player and he's playing extremely well at the moment. So this is the kind of game from an Arsenal perspective where you need someone like Saka, your leader, your star player, to kind of step up and shine and create some magic. I think Timber against Garnacho should be one that Timber should get the better of, you would like to think. If they play Esteval, then he'll be up against Calafiori, and Calafiori can sometimes have a little trouble with nifty, nimble wingers, so that will be a good battle. And then, of course, the biggest battle of them all is this whole Rice versus CAICEDO conversation that's been going on non-stop pretty much since the start of the season. And look, they play in different positions. Rice is an 8 now, CAICEDO is a 6, so they play in different positions. So I don't think we should be looking at doing a straight up compare. But you're arguably talking about two of the most informed midfielders in the Premier League right now. And so from my point of view as an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't swap Rice for anyone. I don't watch enough Chelsea games to sit here and say that CAICEDO is not as good or better than Rice, but all I know is that as an Arsenal fan, Rice is the absolute heartbeat of this football club, and I would not swap him for any player in world football. And I am confident that Rice is going to come into this game and going to stand strong, stand tall, and put in an absolute boss performance, because that's what he does. Rice always delivers in the big games, and he will know in particular what this game means and what is required of himself and the rest of the team, and I'm sure that he'll be leading from the front from a point of action. Another player who I want to see kind of continue to kind of pick up from where he's been, where he's been the last couple of games is Eze. I do think Eze is going to start in the 10. I think this game comes a little bit too soon for Odegaard to be starting. So I think Eze, just needs to carry on from the last two games and continue to be dangerous and confident. And, I'll be expecting him to put in a big performance. If I'm looking at my starting 11, it's Raya in goal, Timber on the right, Calafiori comes back in at left back, Saliba in centre defence, and then I think he will bring in Capier back in to partner Saliba. I think Mosquera was fantastic against Bayern Munich. I think he's a top defender, and I wouldn't have a problem with either Capier or Mosquera, but I do think Capier was rested against Bayern Munich for the mindset of starting against Chelsea, and I think being left-footed, it just makes sense to have him in there alongside Saliba. Zubimendi in the 6, he's been quietly superb these last few matches, and I expect him to just kind of continue bossing that midfield and keeping it ticking along and being that link piece. Rice, as I've already touched on, to have a solid role in that 8 position. Eze in the 10, Saka on the right. On the left, look, Trossard came off against Bayern Munich, and I know Arteta's kind of said that they're still not sure whether he's going to be available or not. Look, if he's fit enough to start, I think he should start, because I think he's been in really good form as well, and I think he deserves to continue playing on that left-hand side if he's fit. I also think that, if I'm being brutally honest, I don't think either Madueke or Martinelli are probably quite up to kind of game speed yet to be starting a match of this nature. But if called upon and if Trossard isn't available, then I'm probably going to lean towards Martinelli, just because I think, even though I think Madueke would love a chance to start against his old club, I just think on the left-hand side, he's not as effective as he is on the right. And so I think Martinelli, his natural position is that left wing. He usually plays really well against Chelsea, so I'd probably have to go with Martinelli on the left. And then I've heard that Gyökeres and Jesus have both travelled with the squad for the game. But again, I just think Jesus, there's no way he's starting, given that he's been out for the best part of 9 months or whatever it is. And Gyökeres has been out now for at least 4 games, I think it is. So to ask him to kind of step into a game of this nature after being out for a few weeks might just be a bit too much. So I think he'll probably start Merino in the 9. And look, I think Merino was excellent against Tottenham. He should have got a couple of goals against Bayern. I think he just needs to do what he's been doing. I don't think we should be looking at Merino as the goal scorer as such. I think I want to continue to see him doing that really great link-up play and kind of swapping with Eze. I think him and Eze have been kind of swapping quite a bit over the last few games. So look, I'm too excited to even really make a lot of sense here, as you can probably tell. I just want us to do it. I want us to do it tonight. Not only is this a chance to little bro Chelsea, to put them back in their spot. Like, I've listened to a lot of Chelsea supporters, like online content creators, and there's some real confidence coming out of the Chelsea camp off the back of that Barcelona win, and they're kind of forcing themselves into the belief that they are title challengers and that they can do some damage to Arsenal, which they definitely can. Don't get me wrong. This is a game where Chelsea have everything they need to kind of damage Arsenal and cause some pain to us tonight. But I just think Arsenal are too good right now. I think we have too much confidence. I think there's too much of a solidarity there to this Arsenal team right now that I think we are going to be quietly fired up for this one. And I think the players know what this game represents in terms of not only making a statement to the rest of the league that we are not going to let this one slip, but also just to show that we are, in fact, the best team right now. We are the best team, not only in the Premier League, but potentially in world football right now. And so I'm going to go with this is really hard. I do think Chelsea might get a goal. I'm going to go... It depends how aggressive Chelsea are. If Chelsea really come for us, we could get a 3-1 result here. But I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal, 9-point lead at the top, one hand on that Premier League. To all Arsenal fans watching tonight, good luck. I'll be there with you. 3:30 a.m. kickoff here in Melbourne. It's going to be a tough one, but I am going to be absolutely buzzing, and I don't think I'll get much sleep beforehand. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully my next video will be me celebrating a big win at Stamford Bridge. See you soon, guys. Bye.